It's 2022 and we already have a new Mega Man game. Sort of. Mega Man The Wily Wars was teased since 1994 and had two almost releases. It came to the Sega Channel first during the Genesis's lifespan, and recently as part of the Sega Genesis Mini. I got one specifically for that reason. Fans waiting since 1994 had probably written off an official release, but Retrobit proved us all wrong when they announced the first official North American release of Mega Man The Wily Wars on Sega Genesis last year. Mega Man was one of my first and favorite video game series, and getting this felt like filling a hole in my collection that I didn't even know was in there. I knew I had to have it, even though the pre-order package came with a lot of other fluff that I wasn't necessarily into, but I felt it was worth it to guarantee a copy of the game. I ordered mine from Castlemania Games back in May of 2021, and it finally showed up today. Without further ado, let's get into opening the package. As you can see, it's well packed and arrived perfectly. I'm actually happy the full package doesn't have too much bulk to it, which is good for storage. Here's the collector cards that come with it. We have Mega Man, Proto Man, Metal Man, Elec Man, Cut Man, Snake Man, Guts Man, Shadow Man, and Air Man. We have some stats on the back as well. This encompasses most of the main robots, but obviously not all of the Robot Masters over the 3.5 games included. The outer box has a cool holographic effect. Unfortunately, I've got to cut through Mega Man's head to unseal the game. The inner box looks just as nice. The inner flap includes some of the in-game sprites, which also looks nice. The front has a sleeve for switching out your preferred cover while storing the rest. Going down the line, there's Mega Man, Proto Man, Metal Man, Cut Man, and Elec Man. Definitely some cool options. The presentation of the inner case is very authentic to an original Sega Genesis game, right down to the hang tab, which has no real purpose here. It has the option of two artworks, sort of like some of the Shout Factory Blu-ray releases that would have the original artwork and a newly commissioned cover, though the cover that wasn't included was the artwork that was originally commissioned for the North American release, which people don't realize it was so far along in production that it even had artwork before it was canceled. It strikes me as a bit of an anachronism here to have the new artwork because Mega Man games in the United States would not have looked this way in 1994. The North American art was done by Greg Winters, who did a majority of the Mega Man artwork at this time. Genesis games also switched over to the red border template rather than the original layout, so that's also another minor inaccuracy. Inside the case is the manual and a letter. Here's a quick flip through showing that no detail was spared. Onto the envelope, there's a certificate of authenticity with your number of the run and a sticker book. The game itself is in a translucent blue sparkle shell that looks even better in person. The artwork fills the label nicely. Even the back has more embellishments than an original Sega game would be allowed. Almost forgot that a poster is included folded up in the outer box. You have the same display options of the original Japanese artwork and the newly commissioned artwork. It's a gorgeous display piece, but being able to play it is important for me. Let's fire it up. This is a capture of the game running on my Genesis Model 2. Now, this is not meant to be a review by any means. We already know that this is a port of 3 near-perfect games. The battery save also works as originally intended. I know my setup isn't ideal since I'm capturing through AV, but this is just a general demonstration of this game in action for those that want it for practical purposes and not just a display piece. As you may have noticed in the credits, Retrobit has modified the game. This is a genuine NTSC version and not a PAL ROM, which would not play correctly on US systems. They also said there's been some bug fixes as well, which I appreciate them trying to maximize playability and not just rush out what they had on hand. This was by no means meant to be a definitive look at the set, but just some of my first impressions and a cursory glance at everything that's included. I'm certainly happy with the product Retrobit has put out, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time.